10
10,
minutes?
15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we will be going to one of the Disney World before this, but yeah, so getting those donations.
We're over 50% of the way to level 1 Sephiroth.
Nice.
Awesome.
So
There was something fat dropped on that thing. Yeah.
Let's keep it coming.
we have a $10 donation from Earthboundian. Hey,
Hey.
Yo,
Ian here.
Yo, what's up?
Sorry I couldn't make it this year, but I hope to be at both AGDQ and SGDQ next year. You're all my family, and I love you all dearly. Thank you all for being there for me when I needed it most. Good luck, Mist, and I know you'll kill it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Probably one more.
Has to be really fast.
Yeah.
All right, we have a $50 donation from Mad Magical. I wasn't going to donate this much, but that rap god summary of Kingdom Hearts from the announcer deserves it.
Nice. All right.
All right.
Biz, if you want to explain this next fight coming up.
So we have to fight Darkseid again, and this time we can't die. He's going to do a very specific set of aerial combos. We're going to actually try to parry the lasers into the arm, because it will deal much more damage than avoiding them. But he has to do it very well timed, or else he's going to get hit out of them. So you'll see him like sort of stall his combos, and if he does it right, he'll keep getting those parries.
Here.
So here he's going to
Throw
be
that really quick,
safe.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not going to get the quick kill here, but that's fine. Don't worry about that.
At
There's
this
nothing
point-
else really that lethal here, so a little unfortunate there, but that's okay.
The most
I might get this kill
lethal,
here.
the most lethal things are probably shadows from the at this fight.
And that was one hit, so you get a good taste of what this category is like.
Make sure I'm far enough away so that doesn't hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right, there we go. Got it. That happens sometimes. Timing the reflections on those
very
orbs,
precise.
it's really hard. That was actually a strat that was found for the standard mode of this game, and then ended up getting adapted.
It's cool seeing this category develop over the years, because at first you're just like, I'm gonna do a run where I don't die. That's gonna be the only goal. But now we've slowly,
Deathless
implemented.
isn't necessarily good anymore.
No. Yeah, we've implemented all these strats where, Mist could end that fight, 15 seconds earlier, all these, I believe Riz came up with that strat, so we've seen a lot of cool speed strats as we go.
Okay, so interesting little quirk about this part of the game is a lot of people might think, oh, you just wander the town around until Leon eventually shows up, because that's how you progress this world and all. A quick little way to actually get Leon to show up right away is to just kill 5 shadows and head to the accessory shop.
Yeah. Somehow the way that they kind of tracked that you walked around enough is just if you finished off 5 shadows. And you'll already notice that they're taking a lot more hits than they were in the tutorial.
They've scaled up, as you go through the world, so you're still level 1.
You're probably noticing he's not doing any finishers in the air. That's because he doesn't want to knock them away, because it's not going to kill them yet.
I'm going to take an intentional hit here because Leon has another fight we can death abuse, and if I'm at full health before I fight him, I'm not going to be able to die in one hit. So just take that hit there.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that he'll double hit you in any way at the start of the fight. We're hoping to see a fireball right at the beginning.
Which is actually contrary to basically every other category, well, at least the lower difficulty categories, so it's
Right.
kind of funny.
Come on, Leon.
The only thing he's going to be missing out on by losing this fight is actually
Hey.
elixir.
Our
Nice.
boy!
We died.
Yo, we in there, we did. There's not too many more fights that we can death abuse through, honestly, in this run, so.
They're mostly early on or in spots where you wouldn't have had a chance to go back and save, and they just kind of let you keep moving.
For
That
some
was
reason, you can't skip that cutscene until Rico opens his eyes. but-
That wasn't Mist just
Yeah.
falling asleep with a wheel, so.
That might happen for me, by the way. I'm real about
Real quick, we're just going to go and talk to Yuffie here, because we're in this little hotel room now. And somehow, just by the magic of talking to girls, I don't know what, but we can just open this chest now, and this contains an elixir. And before I get to that, I'm just going to quickly equip 2 high potions that I got from Destiny Islands. And that's basically the same thing as a regular potion in this run, just heals a certain amount of HP to fully heal me.
Yeah, the high potions are kind of for safety for the next fight, but also just safety in general.
Up until we get cure.
Yeah, potions are going to be really nice early on, but especially because the next fight coming up, guard armor, is actually really scary at level 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna have a pre-mob fight that you're gonna have to deal with here, where you're gonna fight. You see these the next level of Heartless, the soldiers, which are very deadly in their attacks. Again, this being level 1 Proud Note. And he's gonna be doing more jump attacks on them, not as hard as the shadows, but even these can be pretty difficult.
Okay.
Hopefully, Donald will spam a lot of fire because those one-shot them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, magic is
As,
real
as,
good.
as you'll see, MT is ridiculous in this game. That's good. Trying to not get there's a huge crowd of them. I don't want to be a part of that. So,
Yeah,
all right, that's
Donald,
us. Oh, there's
go.
one more. There's one more. Nice.
Yo,
nice.
Dolan
Okay.
the Duck,
Okay.
dude.
And now to come up, here's guard
Alright,
armor.
Guard armor.
So guard armor, he's gonna go for a parry here right away, and then go
Nice.
for a combo stagger. In a second. After the jump.
Just jump
He
right as
has
soon
to
as
get
that
it
happens.
fast. There you
So
go. There's
we don't
one
get-
stagger. He's gonna get another one, and that will knock him down. So he's kind of spreading damage. You'll see him target swapping all over the place,
Not my best option.
and that's to kind of distribute damage evenly.
Very nice.
Gonna work with
You want to break all these parts roughly together. He goes for the arms first because they're far more deadly. And now he just has the legs left. They might split.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was disgusting.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
And guard armor is also invincible until he comes back down here, so he's gonna wait a
So, dude,
second.
If he didn't break all the pieces right there, then guard armor starts throwing the body parts around individually,
Yeah.
including the torso, and it gets really deadly.
So that
And
was
we're good.
smooth.
Nice job.
Very nice fight by Mist.
That is a really big hurdle out of the way. Like
Yeah.
that, I know when I was running crowd mode a little bit, I stopped running it partially because of that fight right
It's the
there.
first real, like, actual difficult fight of the run.
Yeah, it's got, and this is gonna be a theme throughout level 1. But any of those attacks, if he comes out and stomps you with his feet, if you let him get away, or if his hand starts swinging around, they're like 80% of your health bar gone.
Yeah, because an interesting mechanic with EXP0 is that with that equipped, they kind of added level 1 as an afterthought here, so they had to find some way to make it a little fair. So if you're at full health with EXP0 equipped, you will not get one shot by anything. However, if you are even 1 HP off of full health, then you can potentially immediately die.
There's actually going to be a really big problem with that, like, towards about halfway through this run, but we'll cover that when it comes.
This is gonna be another menu here where you're gonna finally put on dodge roll.
So we
And,
just got it from them right there.
yep. And also gonna steal their
loot
items.
their items, why not? This
Yeah.
almost all only what they're good for. So. Oh, nice!
Yeah,
They kept
wow.
all their items.
All,
Nice.
Fantastic.
especially Goofy's ether right there that he had at the bottom. Very good.
And I'm also going to be setting their AI to use HP and MP items pretty much constantly. So whenever I'm low on MP or I even remotely take damage, because I'm basically going to be in critical health almost all the time. If I take a hit, they'll just heal me right away. So
And in addition to that, we're also, so we got the gummy missions. Unfortunately, games like Kingdom Hearts 2, we cannot speed up the gummy missions, but here we can. And we're going to do that through a goofy-looking little gummy ship.
don't make fun of my gummy shit, man.
The
It's really
tissue
fast.
box, dude.
We call this the flying tissue box. We're going to put on that and that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
That's a beautiful looking ship right there.
This will allow the gummy ship to move much faster. You might not notice if you don't know the game really well, but if you side-by-sided them with the default gummy ship, it's a huge difference.
It's ridiculous.
In this, I know at least on the trip from here to Wonderland, you already saved like 25 seconds on that game.
And this one's longer, like the trip
Yeah.
to Olympus Coliseum. So
So, yeah, you're already making that all the time that going into that gummy menu will do. Yeah, so the way that these get faster are by taking, you kind of have your gummy ship fall into weight classifications. So by taking off all the armor right there, he is in the lowest weight classification. So it just physically moves you along the screen faster. Other than that, it's going to base it off of your best engine gummy, which he has the basic, just the fire gummy. That's all he has right now. We will be upgrading that as we go through the run. And he put on a gun because it's proud enough.
Oh yeah, it's very important to note that although Hobbs said that we will not be getting one shot in pretty much any of the fights here, it is still possible for you to die in one hit in gummy missions.
yeah, that's
So-
like the one place that's possible because they actually are more difficult based on the difficulty selection, unlike in KH too.
Right.
Yeah.
He's also heading to Olympus right now, which is kind of different from all other categories because we need to get the Thunder spell. So we're actually not going to complete Olympus. We don't need to in the entire run, but we want to go there quickly to get the Thunder spell.
Yeah. Essentially, we're just going to be doing like a series of mini games where we just have to destroy a bunch of barrels, and then Phil's going to be like, "Here, you can have the thunder matching," and then we come back in KH2 and we can show him like how much we've learned. So.
Yeah, Thunder's not only a great, just magic spell in general, but on top of that, it's absolutely required for something later on that we'll get to.
Yeah.
Also, the first Disney song should be coming up pretty soon, right?
It'll be, once we obtain the Thunder ability, which will be after these barrel mini games, then we will do it. So, we kind of explained the basics. I don't think we really need to go into too much detail on this stuff. So, Screw, I'm going to let you go ahead and read donations, and then we'll get into that first Disney song here in just a few minutes.
Perfect. We have a $50 donation from Alexa. Don't give in to the darkness. Let's hit those Kingdom Hearts incentives. We have a $25 donation from Inari. Toughest question of our generation. Simple and clean or sanctuary? Gold. Love you all.
Sanctuary.
I disagree.
I don't know.
Don't think twice is the real answer.
Yeah. He's just breaking
I was
things.
waiting for that. Thank you.
Got all the round box combos, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Those are really that's really hard to do.
This one's a lot harder. So
All right, so get ready. It'll be after we break these round boxes that we'll have to end up picking out our first Disney song.
He's trying to snipe barrels into other barrels if he can, especially here. This would be
Nice.
really nice, good. And then targeting the middle of these packs.
that's fine.
Oh my god, I can't believe you dropped one.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad.
What a loser.
All right, 36, not too bad, man.
All right.
Pretty good.
That's good.
All right, and I believe it is now time for our first Disney song.
So what's our winner?
Our winner is Can You Feel the Love
Nice.
Tonight from The Lion King.
All right.
All right, guys, we will be joined then by Mr. Zemi Poo himself. Okay, yeah, come on up. We will be switching over the camera, I believe. Oh, yes, here.
It's pretty quiet, but hearing him a little bit.
Yes, check. Check 1, 2, check. Hi, everyone. How y'all doing? Hey, what's up? What's going on? I hear like weird echoes of myself in the headset. So, hope you're all having a great day.
One, two, check, 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 check. Let's use this one instead, man.
Cool. Hi. Is that working? All right.
Kick it, dude.
Great. So this is gonna be the Elton John one, not the one from Lion King, but the one that he made. It's like the bonus track or whatever. All right. Anyway, here we go. There's a calm surrender to the rush of day when the heat of a rolling wind can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. Can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best.
All right.
Amazing, dude.
Nice.
So little menu here stole Tarzan's items, turned off all his MP abilities except for his healing ability. So now Tarzan is basically a heal bot.
Also, picking up this Mega Ether chest really quick. Mega Ethers will not be in play until like way later in the game.
And if you missed it, he died just before because that progresses the game and it's faster.
Yeah, it's really the last death abuse of the run.
Right.
So.
Time to pick up some slides, man.
Yeah, it's 6 slides, not that mysterious
sure?
7 fun.
You sure?
I am 100% sure.
You want to check your items real quick?
No, dude, I'm good.
That's a meme that I do not know.
Oh, it's great. One time I was doing a run and someone's like, "You missed the slide." I went back and I actually had them. It was fantastic. I never listened to Twitch chat ever again after that.
But Deep Jungle is kind of where you start to see more of the movement of this game really kind of start to shine, even despite how simple it is. Like, you can really have some minor optimizations that add up over the course of the run.
Right
Slides
there.
is kind of one of the places.
Right
to
there,
do
that was Mythal Shard chest I just picked up. And that there's going to be some items we pick up in Deep Jungle because we're going to need more money to upgrade our gummy ship later on in the game.
This is generally the first part of the game where
Not bad.
it kind of
Alright.
is hard for
Saved
players
it.
to figure out where to go. Fortunately, we know where to go.
Didn't like
so we
where it
do
was
really
going
easy,
here.
But you'll see him kind of like loop back a few times before we can complete the world.
He's going to have pretty clean movement here. He's going to be going for a strat called Hippo Hop. If he moves through this room very well, he can catch the cycle on this hippo right as it's about to go under. Very nice. And that should allow him to get all the way.
Okay, we're good.
All right, very nice movement through there.
You can actually do like a save warp too, but it's basically preferences.
And it's also the fact that if we save what we really want Tarzan our party for this world, so it's like extra menuing you would have to do anyway. So it's basically like the exact same thing.
Because like Biz said as we were coming out of the singing, that he basically turned Tarzan into a heal bot, so he doesn't have to worry about healing himself nearly as much. But with that, we're going to drop back down in a second, so I'll have Sakura go ahead and read 1 or 2 donations real quick. They're doing a lot of negotiations over there. Little contract negotiations.
We have a $150 donation from Hazy Lena. Good luck with the run. May your heart be your guiding key. Oh, and Donald, don't screw up healing again, okay?
All right. So now, Mist, what do you think about Power Wilds?
You know, they're kind of a messy fight, you know, typically. But thankfully, we have this handy little thing called the Thunder Magic that we just picked up a little while ago. So don't mind me, I'm just gonna do this. And, oh, there's one that lives. What? You ruined it.
Oh, man.
I was trying to make a point, man. Why you gotta do this to me?
About to brain down, dude. Bring me Thanos.
But Thunder's it's still pretty good.
It actually kind of almost makes level 1 easier here than normal because
When you
of
have
thunder.
MP, anyway.
Yeah,
It's a little messy when you don't have MP. But
Yeah, because normally you'd only have Blizzard, you wouldn't have Thunder because you'd have come from the Alice in Wonderland world, and it's just so much nicer with Thunder. Way better.
The downside is we
Nice.
never
Yo,
upgrade
frame
thunder.
perfect.
Yeah.
That was actually frame perfect. It just did.
We never upgrade thunder, so it does eventually kind of become useless compared to other magic. But for now, it's pretty strong.
He got all his MP back by stepping on a save point for a moment, just letting the MP refill. That's really handy here.
So as you can
Good
see,
dodge.
if you haven't picked up on the basic mechanic, if you look at the bottom right, the UI, as he hits enemies, it'll fill up his MP, the blue part, as that yellow kind of rotates around. So a lot of what Misty's having to do is not only just spam magic the whole time. As he runs out, he has to use more and more physical attacks to balance, okay, should I use a Thunder here if it's just only one power I'll be hitting? Do I want to just do some physicals to fill up the magic? There's a lot of just, you know, adaptation he has to make all the way throughout the run.
And this is considered the worst power weld fight. Yeah.
He does have 1 ether available too if he really wants to use it, but that'll basically depend on how the fights go.
there's too much stuff, dude. So I'm gonna
Again,
run away
no
just so I
cure.
can use this, and there we go. Okay, we're back in there. I'll just use this Thunder. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to save that for the next fight, but it was getting a little out of hand.
Yeah, it's a little nice because you drop into this 4th fight and it's consistent where they'll be. ground, but he's gonna have to do some different strats.
So I'll try to go over here. I want to get some MP back. Unfortunately, that one got away from me, but that's fine. Just do some movement here, get in some more attacks. Yeah,
Nice
they're being pretty aggressive right now, but we can handle it. All right, nice potion drop. That's good. I want that. Okay.
And
That could
because
have been way worse, so we got out of there.
because he had a spare inventory slot and that potion dropped onto the ground, picking it up means that it's actually right there in his inventory.
He's gonna try to push this first one into the group with a couple of 1-2s and then go into Thunders. Gonna have to heal himself though first. You see how he has to make that distance because Power Wilds can close in on you very quickly.
And we did it. Okay.
Yo, nice Power
They
Wilds.
really wanted me
Dicey,
today,
but we got it.
We survived. It's the important thing.
And now we're going to Sabor. Hobbs, you came up with a pretty cool strat for this fight.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's used on level 1. Awesome.
Well, I'll try.
An alteration or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was a little rough yesterday, so hopefully. Yeah.
so an interesting kind of quirk about this game is that whenever you're locked onto an enemy, you cannot go through a room transition. And Sabor here likes to jump around all over the arena and stuff, but if you can manage to bait Sabor back towards the entrance of the room, then you can actually stun lock her by knocking against the wall as many times as possible. But it's not really going his way right now. Yeah, definitely better to heal there than try to start the stun lock.
Dude.
Oh man.
This is a little scary. Tarzan doesn't have any MP, so this is gonna be rough. I may die here.
He has to take a risk basically
Pretty
now.
much.
They're going to try to bait out a couple of attacks and then try to find an opening.
There we go. Oh man.
Oof. This will be amazing. If I survive this, oh boy, okay. Alright.
Nice. Okay, so now that
Hurry up.
Sabor's been stunned, he can
We
try
did
to
it.
stun
Okay,
lock.
we did
Alright,
it.
good job.
Man.
Sabor has been interesting.
Deep Jungle's kind of, testing level 1 right now.
I hope you like that beeping noise at critical health, because that's not the last time we're gonna hear it.
You underestimating me?
Yeah, definitely good understanding of this there of just her attack patterns, knowing how to deal with it. You'll see him come up here again. We didn't actually get into this the first time, but by going up here, instead of doing Hippo Hop the second and third times, we're going to activate this mini game and then immediately quit out of it, which just warps us to the
got
other
a
side.
one.
He got a
Reset.
0.01.
Gotta reset, dude.
One frame off, perfect right there.
So frame perfect in like, one frame later.
So now we gotta fight an evil fruit.
I am.
So
Best boss in the game, dude.
even on level 1, this takes the exact same number of hits as it does on every other category. It's 15 swings and the fruit dies, so...
With that, let's get in one more donation before we get into one of the first really scary fights, Clayton.
Absolutely. We have a $150 donation from Five Eyes. I've been looking forward to this run of one of my favorite series. Level 1 Sephiroth would blow my mind. And speaking of which, we are over halfway to the Oathkeeper glitch
Oh,
and
nice.
Nice.
less than $20,000 off from the level 1
Let's
Sephiroth.
hit it, guys.
Yeah, keep making it happen,
All
folks.
right, guys, we're gonna kill this boss, and then we're gonna do some platforming. Then we're doing the second Disney song. Here's Clayton.
So we're gonna do just 2 1-2 combos, and we're gonna do a 1-2-3. Have our party members maybe hurt playing a little bit there, or not. They can just sit there. That's fine. We're just gonna advance to the second phase, and right here, right off the bat, Clayton's gonna try to attack us. I'm gonna try to jump over this attack like so. They're gonna get hit. That's fine. And I want to do 2 combos like so, and have the second finisher connect there. And this is gonna have Stealth Sneak just kind of turn visible right now. And I'm gonna wait in time a very specific combo like right here. Have Stealth Sneak come over to this side, and then I'm gonna try to knock Clayton off Stealth Sneak right here. And what we're going to try to do is get Clayton to the other side of the arena as quickly as possible, because if you actually can separate Clayton as much as you can in this fight, which is basically like from that side to this side, the lasers that Stealth Sneak is going to shoot out will basically dissipate before they can actually hit you. And that just gives us ample time to just wail on this guy.
There's an important thing he's doing too, where he's actually waiting to use the magic that he's got until after he uses a finisher on Clayton. That's because of a weird little quirk with the XP0 that amplifies magic and summon damage after you use a finisher.
Although I don't think we've ever tested if it actually affects this fight, but later on it definitely
Easy, dude.
Nice. Stealth Sneak is the big danger in that fight, so when he started, showing up again at the end.
Lucky he missed me. Holy.
Yeah.
That was a bit sketchy.
It is so hard to do air combos that fast, reset, and go in for another 1-2. You have to be so close to the ground. That was absolutely nuts. Nice to see that. All right, guys, we're going to do some platforming right here. We're going to pick up a couple of synth items along the way that will also be used to sell so we can buy a few gummy pieces later on. See how platforming through this section
There's
looks.
only like one really hard part here. So there's like a mithril in that chest, there's an orichalcum here. We're all set for items to sell for later, and if I can line myself up properly here, this jump is very tight. It's okay.
Ah,
You can get it.
give me another
second try.
chance.
There we go.
Hey,
Second
good
try.
job.
Second try. Not bad. That jump is
Good
very
job.
difficult. So.
All right, and with that, we're about to make our way over to Alice in Wonderland, but we need to do another Disney song. Second place, we got
How Far I'll Go,
Nice.
sung by It's Casa.
from Moana.
Shout out to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's happy for sure. Shouts to Nintendo.
Spike.
Oh, do I need to do this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to get up.
Alright. Just making sure.
You want me to get up?
It's more that you don't need the mic to be heard. Oh. One sec, Costa. Not quite on yet. We'll just groove out to Gummy Ship music until then. Okay.
Staring at the edge of the water, long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water, no matter how hard I try. Every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes, and the wind and the sail on the sea stays behind me. One day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. And I know everybody on this island has a role on this island. So maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along, but the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light as it shines on the sea, it's blinding, but no one knows how far it goes. And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me. And let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line? See the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. And if the wind on the sails in the ski stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go.
That was the first time I heard that song.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I never watched Moana. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Don't tell Nintendo. Too late. Sorry.
So we're in Wonderland.
All right, so this is a fight. Good job.
Nice.
All right, and that cleared that out. We haven't actually talked about it, but one of the mechanics of this game, you'll notice in the bottom left corner there's the command menu. If it's blue, he can open doors, he can open chests, activate things. If it's red, which indicates that there are enemies on screen, he can't do that stuff. So they needed to clear out those enemies just so he could open up that chest, which is a piece of evidence, what they want you to do in this world. Go around, prove Alice didn't do anything wrong, and
I think it's us second from the right.
whichever chest hits the ground first, that will have the soldier in it, or the Heartless, which will allow you to have Goofy and Donald in the next fight. So nice picking that out.
So this means his party members will be helping him out for this fight. The Crane Tower is kind of a weird fight. It doesn't have HP, so you're going to see him actually do slow combos, because if you do it too fast, it doesn't register as a hit. And he also is hoping his finishers will knock away cards so that he doesn't get hit and have to run away and heal. And now, as you can see, he's having a hard time locking onto the tower, because when you break all the wheels, it kind of gets a little difficult to target it.
Thankfully, we have Cure from beating Clayton earlier, so...
All right, nice. That was good. That fight gets a lot scarier if you don't have cure, or
Yeah.
also if you
Like,
don't know to
regular
slow
crowd,
down.
this fight's so obnoxious. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and slowing down your combos is a really big factor of that fight that actually took us a long time to kind of figure out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a little tidbit is you try to like sandwich yourself between the tower and a card that you can lock on because you just can't lock onto the crank tower like when it breaks off. So, but thankfully if you get like one hit in, you can actually target the crank tower again. So that's like the ideal thing. When
Yeah,
that
it just
happens.
doesn't have it registered as a target until you've accidentally smacked it once, so it's better.
Very soon,
Accidentally, yeah.
very soon after he picks up some items here, we're actually going to be having to do a little bit of weird movement in order to avoid spawning enemies, and that's to kind of get at what Spike was saying earlier, where he needs to keep this command menu blue so that way he can light a couple of torches here. And if he doesn't move specifically in this way, grabbing the ledge there and then flipping up and staying off of the pink ground,
Floor
then,
is lava.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
his floor is lava. If he touches the ground there, he would actually spawn enemies, and he wouldn't be able to light these torches without killing them.
Yeah, well,
I'm not doing it.
Oh,
Sorry, Hobbs.
yes, you'll see him specifically, again, avoiding the lava on the floor level. He's going to do a jump slash towards that latch, and then going to try to jump into position to then activate the latch while he has blue menu, and as you can see, after it opened up, it was red, and the enemies respawn there. Going to fill up his NP off standing on the save point, and then we're going into the boss fight.
This guy just kind of gets destroyed in this category.
Yeah, it's
so.
unlike regular Proud. We have Thunder, which kind of wrecks Trickmaster, so it's not as bad. Although you still have to be really good at the platforming to pull this off, because jumping onto the chair to quickly get a combo on them has to be done very quickly. Or
Yeah.
else he'll knock one of them down, and you won't be able to use it.
that's kind of the big thing of this fight is actually getting onto the chair and getting off of it. Once he's out of MP, that is.
Right. Yeah, Thunder definitely simplifies a lot of the platforming in this. So you'll see Mist will have to have kind of this internal clock in his head of like how many hits he can roughly get in each time he knocks it down, and then how many subsequent hits it'll take to get him knocked down again. So he should be relatively close to that. Again, Thunder really wrecks this guy. Very nice.
Good job.
And with that, guys, we've come to a close on Disney songs. Our third place finisher, the last one we're singing, is going to be
Love is an Open Door by Zem and Kung Fu Fruit Cup.
from Frozen's. All right, we're going to...
Kung Fu, tilt the mic thing up. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Hi again, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
I stream. What's that? Sick. All right. Yeah. Let's do it.
You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All my life has been a series of doors in my face. And then suddenly I bump into you.
I was thinking the same thing. It's like I've been searching my whole life to find my own place. And maybe it's the party talking or the chocolate fondue.
But with you,
I found my place.
I see your face.
And it's nothing like I've never known before. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Love is an open door.
With you,
With you,
with you,
with you. Love is an open door. I mean, it's crazy.
What?
We finish each other's.
sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
I've never met someone who thinks so much like me.
Jinx, jinx again. Our mental synchronization can have but one explanation. You
And I
are
just
meant
want
to be.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye to the pain of the past. We don't have to feel it anymore. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Life can be so much more
with you.
with you.
With you.
With you. Love is an open door. Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes! Oh, wait, actually, I'm like, kind of seeing.
No, that's fine. You were the side chick anyway.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it would have been really cool.
Oh, adorable.
Oh, that was good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Ew.
you can.
Just a real quick shout outs to all of our singers. Thank you guys. You're all awesome. And yeah.
So here we are on Traverse Town 2 visit. It is kind of a lengthy visit where we kind of just go from point A to point B. The game actually wants us to fight opposite armor now, which is like the boss of the world, but we're actually not going to because there's not really a benefit for it. We do get the arrow spell, but on level 1 it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't help decrease damage once we get to Agrabah.
Yeah, really old routes of level 1, I think, actually would go and fight opposite armor early, but it's just not worth it.
An interesting thing about PlayStation 4 now is because, like Lahabs was mentioning earlier about save warping back in Deep Jungle, it's actually faster on PlayStation 4 now, just due to how fast the loads are, is we're just going to go right to 3rd District instead of going to Sid, like Leon told us to. And it's actually faster to do this, warp back to the accessory shop, and then warp back to Merlin's, than actually just going straight to Sid and then straight to Merlin from there.
Yeah, I think he said about like a good 6 to 8 seconds.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we also
nice.
Nice.
Just for you,
fire.
Ops.
Yeah. So we never really mentioned, but he's playing on the Japanese version because, text, it's a speedrun.
Roughly 25 to 30 seconds
Yeah,
faster.
and it used to be a lot more than that, but if you watch this game on an English copy, or watch this run on an English copy of the game, you'll actually see whoa, this couch just, fell.
Oh god, it's
One Mayan.
it's devouring us, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about us. Yeah, this is Merlin.
We'll be fine.
Sit up here.
This would be a good time for donations.
Of course, it was
Yeah,
when I was on the couch.
Ignore what I was talking about.
Oh, hello there.
We have a anonymous $500 donation.
Wow.
Great job on the singing, Zem and Casa. Disney songs are always a highlight of Kingdom Hearts runs. Put this money towards the Oathkeeper cutscene glitch. For those who haven't seen it before, you're in for a real treat. Let's break the 2 million mark.
Thank you very much.
Right here, they're introducing you to the fairy godmother, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But her basic function is she's actually going to allow you to unlock more summons as we go through. We haven't seen any summons yet, but they will be very, very useful. And now we are going to stand up. And now we are going to leave. And now we are getting you back on deck.
Okay, I was like, wait, dude, I have a run to do.
Yeah, you keep going. You're good.
And that's the
You're
end of
killing it, man.
SGDQ 2018. Thanks everyone for watching.
We normally do not break couches as a community. I just want to put that out there.
You know what? That's probably
Should I
just
sit
like
on this one? Should I just...
it's probably just like the
Good.
same couch all the way from Classic Games Done Quick. We just move it in.
We're just gonna chill right here. That was amazing, by the way. Shout out to our tech crew.
The coordination on that was incredible.
God, that was good.
I wish that were playing
It's a
now.
good thing it was during Traverse Town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like just get in the middle of pot stamp. He's like, get out of there.
This is still having the game the entire time.
I'm just like, dude, I can do this anywhere.
Oh God, that was good.
Oh man, that was
I
good.
can't even see the TV. So yeah, like we said, save warping here, talking instead, really just hitting a bunch of story triggers again. No real combat of much anyways happening.
And right here, I'm actually going to sell those items that, we're going to sell a bunch of the items from our stock. These are the synth items, and we're going to sell the accessories as well, because there's only like 2 accessories in the entire game we're actually going to be utilizing, so we're just getting those accessories out of our inventory for easier menuing later on.
In a lot of other categories, you would hold on to the White Fang, but White Fang's main use is giving you extra strength, and as we kind of alluded to at the very beginning of this run, strength doesn't really matter on level 1 almost at all.
Which is why we haven't really switched Keyblades yet or anything like that. The strength stat doesn't matter for Keyblades as well, so the only Keyblade we will equip usually is for MP only, except for the very next one where we put Jungle King on just for the extra length until we get a better MP Keyblade.
And right there, as I alluded to earlier, we talked to the fairy godmother, and one of the things I believe after being Deep Jungle, we got the ability to unlock Simba. Or somewhere along all this, I don't remember. But somewhere along the way, we got Simba, and you'll see Simba will be really good for crowd control as we get into the next couple of
Yeah,
months.
we'll actually see him in just the next world coming up soon. It's important right here, we actually activate this reaction command on this door. This creates a shortcut back to the 1st district from the 3rd district, and if you do it right now, there's no enemies that spawn because there was a cutscene that just played there. And now we're just going to talk to Sid and go on with the rest of the world.
To get a little more into why strength doesn't matter on level 1, this game has some scaling when it comes to the bosses. It actually doesn't scale your damage really against regular Heartless, which is kind of why you'll see a lot of usage of summons and magic, but it does scale your damage against bosses. You'll have a minimum amount of damage that you do to every boss, and it's different per boss and stuff like that. And it's all based around your strength stat compared to the boss's level. So that is why we don't really care about strength, because we're never going to build up enough to really do more than the scaling is going to
We're
help.
going to be doing chip damage.
It's only though because of EXP0 that we scale. The game normally doesn't scale you. You'd be doing chip damage if you were low level Crown
Rest in
right
peace,
now.
Donald.
Normally the game will only scale you down if you start
Yeah,
doing
a
too much
challenge that
damage.
some people will do is they'll get to a late game boss with EXP0 on level 1 and then take EXP0 off and fight that boss, where the boss will take like an hour to kill. Okay?
Shoutouts to Biz.
Yeah,
You're an idiot.
yeah, kinda.
So, right there, if you want to explain what you just bought.
That's the 1,250 money I was talking about earlier. We sold enough stuff to get that. And right there, I bought a Fire Gummy, which is basically a stronger engine for the Gummy Ship, and also the Haste Gummy. So I'm going to go into my Gummy Ship again really quick. We're going to go over to our engines. We go down like this. I build my ship kind of stylish way, so there we go. And beautiful, fantastic. So
Everyone gets their own personality.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's go.
Yeah. And the haste gun is here. Oh, this is actually you want to warp here.
Yeah, it's about 4 seconds faster to warp to Wonderland and then go to the warp hole from here than actually just going straight from Traverse Stone.
Yeah, faster by about, I think it was 4 seconds on PS3.
Might
so
be a little
faster
more.
load
Yeah,
times is
5
probably
or
even more
6.
here.
Yeah.
But,
Even though it looks so much further from the warp hole.
Yeah, do not trust the just visual aspect of the actual world map.
so now in addition to the fire gummy just moving us along faster, now we have the haste gummy, which as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, it's basically Star Fox 64. Use the boost to get through, and you'll be boosting for that little bit of time, and then it'll have to refill. Again, going to be speeding this up a lot. But with that, we're on our way to Agrabah, so I think we'll go ahead and read off some donations before we get to an awful world.
Yes.
Absolutely. We have a $150 donation from Joker Man, donating during one of my favorite games growing up. Let's get that level 1 Sephiroth fight. We also have a $75 donation from TW Roxas. Gotta donate during the series that gave me my name. Best of luck to the runner. Put this towards the Oathkeeper glitch.
You'll notice, like, really quick there, I was actually hugging the top right of the screen, and I eased my way sort of downwards to the left. It's because those enemies that kind of just come from behind right there, like halfway through the gummy, that's the first real instance where I'll actually just get, blindsided in one shot if I don't move out of the way. So it's very important. Especially in these later gummies, you move in a very particular way just so you do not get nailed by these oncoming Heartless ships.
So we're about to enter probably one of the worst
First
worlds.
real wall of the game.
There's 2 boss fights coming up that basically are incredibly random and can just kill us for really no reason.
In addition to just not only kill us, but also just waste a ton of time. Especially this first one we got coming up.
Right?
First thing he'll be doing, he'll be making his way over here for this story trigger. It's a cutscene where we see Jasmine hiding from Jafar. And what the game wants us to do right here is go ahead and kill off these bandits, this new type of Heartless, exclusive to Agrabah. And you can see up there in the top left corner of the screen above Jasmine, you see that keyhole lock. You actually want to unlock that in order to unlock some doors to get through. So you'd want the blue command menu here, but this is actually going to skip these bandits right now in a little skip we call Bandit Skip. That we'll be getting into here after the next fight.
And you actually can skip doing bandit skip by doing a save warp, but like
we gotta look cool, man. We gotta look
And
cool.
plus,
Or
like-
stupid, one of the two.
And like in Deep Jungle, the party members change and everything.
Just a free mega elixir in Aladdin's house.
That was a mega elixir. Aladdin is rich. What is going on?
There's a
there,
chest
dude?
here, I promise, but there's a mega ether right there.
Yeah.
It's surprising that they kind of just throw you a mega elixir so soon in this game for free without doing anything other than just being there.
The most powerful item you can use in a battle.
Coming up is our first usage of Simba, which, as Spike alluded to earlier, is really good for crowd control. A lot of people probably just randomly use Simba on like one boss fight, probably like opposite armor or something like that, and they just kind of saw he doesn't really do a whole lot against bosses in particular, but as you'll see right here, he's fantastic at just dealing with mob fights specifically.
The only danger is that it takes a little bit of time to get this charge off, so he has to be very careful that he doesn't get hit during it, so he moves a little bit there to let them spawn and waits until they're all spawned and then just kills them.
Nice. Simba's damage, like all summons, is based off of your maximum MP, so it's pretty important that we keep increasing the magic so we can keep using Simba.
Hopefully this next room doesn't obliterate me like it has a couple times, but sometimes a random hit just like snipes you out of the air and then you just kind of die inexplicably. So
Putting in Aladdin, he is pretty strong. His physical damage is going to be better than Donald right now. So now we're going for the bandit skip.
and do a quick menu of taking Aladdin's items, and I'm also going to unequip an ability from him and also put on the Jungle King Keyblade for the range, and hopefully, nice.
Nice. Precise setup there going into first person mode while also, slightly adjusting his positioning before spawning any enemies. I believe that was found by Saiyans, the
think so,
first person mode setup, and that's pretty cool.
This next room randomly can have.
Okay, good.
Okay, he didn't have it.
Nice.
I'd rather it here than Halloween Tom, man. So
Yeah,
I'm still a little
we'll wait for Halloween
little
time. then.
There's just a bad spawn you can get here that he would have known if the music didn't change and his command menu stayed red when he walked in.
Oh, come on, dude.
Unfortunately,
I
with
believe in my
great-
party members. No, go down. Go down. Okay.
If he
there you go.
drops down there, he will
Just push
spawn.
him off the edge, dude. Alright.
Okay.
I think they got him.
It died.
Gonna
It
fall
died, yeah.
down.
Yeah, they got him. Okay, good. Nice.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Oh.
Almost took another lap around right there. Like, I need to keep that blue command menu in order to keep enemies spawned off so we can unlock that.
Weird little quirk. They actually reduced the speed at which the camera turns around in the latest patch for this game, which is just so weird. But you kind of saw it, right?
time for my favorite fight, and everyone's favorite fight. This is Pod Centipede. I'm going to be dead on focused on this, so you guys take this away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pot Centipede's pretty rude.
You can take this one. Spike.
Sure, yeah. Pot Centipede is awful. So there's going to be a head and a tail to him, and then there's going to be, like, I'm pretty sure 7,000 little pods that he can connect in between. This is going to first off try to just get away, be a little bit safe, deflect that, and then go ahead and break open the pots one time. Now he's going to try to start to form back together, and what Mist wants to see is that he's going to start running through the hallway. The more running through the hallway, the better. He's kind of got a stored hit right there, and this is good that he's seeing him with only 2 pots in between, because that means if Mist puts on a little bit of a delay to his finisher, then he's actually going to hit both the front end and the back end with the finisher. Now, yes, jump and heal. Again, jumping and curing, because that is going to reduce any of the lag from landing from doing it on the ground.
This is like an awful position right there, man.
He's getting a little cornered here, and that's very
Okay, good.
dangerous.
There we go. This is what we want to see.
Once again, 2 pots. So if he puts on that delay, you can see it smacking both the front part and the back part on the back screen. So we want to see him never stop running. Because then he's not going to stagger him and have to go through that awkward phase.
Oh wow, he just really swiped with the antenna there.
So unlucky here, he broke apart. He's going to have to break him apart again. And now hopefully he'll form back together and run through the walls. This is what I'm saying, that even if this fight doesn't kill you, it can just waste a bunch of time. Ooh, those pots have a mind of their own. 2 pots once again.
And every time he has to jump and cure, he's still
Nice
vulnerable.
read right there by
Yeah.
Mist. One coming out of the air. They like to do that.
He should be very close to death
We
at
got
this
this.
point.
I'd be surprised if we don't got this.
Once he gets low enough, he basically never stops running.
There we
So,
go.
There we
Nice.
go. Good job.
All right.
Okay, very good.
That's a big place to potentially take a death, and it's a really costly one as well.
All right, so that fight sucked. Now let's do another fight that sucks. We got Tiger Head.
Out of the frying pan into the freezer kind of thing.
Yeah, he's going to have very specific movement coming up here. The basic idea of Tiger Head, he's going to have to scale up Shadow of the Colossus style, try to take out both of his eyes. Unfortunately, this Tiger Head will also be spawning Heartless along the way that he will potentially have to deal with. Hopefully we won't see that.
I gotta move really fast here, so I'm gonna focus.
So I imagine he's going to do a strat that was actually found, I think by me, I don't quite remember, where he's going to be getting up there as quick as he can and then swinging from behind once. That's actually going to, for some reason, let Tiger Head kind of stay still for a while so he can wail on him. And he's also trying to deflect all of these lasers as they shoot out of his face. So he's specifically timing his combos to try to do that.
Yeah,
He's
because
also
those lasers do big damage.
It's similar to the Dark Side 2 fight from earlier.
Eventually, Tiger Head will kind of just get away though and start doing this. And now this is where it gets a little random, and he can start getting hit sometimes.
And coming out of this, he just spit out a bunch of enemies right there. We'd like that he spit out fat bandits, because they're not going to come up here and try to mess with us. If they're regular bandits, though, they are just unbelievable snipers.
Oh,
This is
falling
sketchy
down.
now. That's
Okay.
good. Just calm down.
That's all right.
Okay, so he's going to have to react off of this. Hopefully get up fast enough.
Nice.
Was able to get up to the front
Okay.
very quickly.
He's also alternating his hits between the two eyes because once you kill one eye, Tiger Head gets a lot more aggressive. And he just did that on the left eye. Nice job.
Standing on top, the victor. Very nice.
Dude, that was an amazing recovery after falling down too. It's
Yeah.
really hard
You
to
have
get
to
back
go
up.
really fast, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just like non-stop be moving. It's like impossible to climb back up.
Yeah, you fall down, you don't generally expect to get back up there. You expect to have
Right.
to run around and dodge the enemies on the ground until Tiger Head decides to shove his nose into the sand. Nice little jump there.
There's a cottage in this chest. We'll be getting just enough so we can be thoroughly prepped for final fights by the end of the game.
Yeah, cottages are basically mega elixirs, which completely refill your HP and your MP of all your party, but you can only use it from the mega.
So it's basically just a mega elixir, but more restricted.
Yeah, right now, just again, like a lot of the worlds in KH1, they're kind of you're supposed to explore around.
Be
a lot.
careful.
You just know where to go. You get through them very quickly. So we got a handful of rooms here, and then we'll be going into the other.
Be
two
careful.
spots to get there.
Thankfully, they're nowhere near
I
as
know.
drastic as the other two.
Gotta be
so-
But they do
careful.
have some specific strats to actually
know,
get quick
I
kills
know.
on both of
Yeah,
them.
they can
I
still
know.
waste some time.
It's
but
too
they're
early.
Not as likely to kill
It's not
you.
dinner time yet.
So
He's also going to
Way
be picking
too
up an
early.
elixir in the next room because any
Way
kind of
too
free
early.
item that's very close to us, it's a little bit risky to do that, but that's the only way we can really do it is jump attack.
You're kind of expected to have
You have to
high
time
jump
it
or
right because
glide.
if you do it too soon, obviously you don't make it. If you do it too late, you can actually clank off the floor, and then you just get knocked back and you fall down anyway. So very
I
particular.
know.
Right here, I'm actually going to. Not bad.
It's way too
We're gonna go
early.
to our items.
Way too
and we'll just
early.
swap in- no. Oh, right. I used
I
all my
know.
items. There we go. Put on 3 ethers, and we're going to put on the ray of light accessory we won a little while ago, as well as put blizzard.
too
over it.
early.
I would say Thunder's never going to get another upgrade, so we're switching over
I
to
know
Blizzard,
you're
which will
hungry.
upgrade Lazara as well after this next fight. So Jafar, Hobbs, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, so Jafar has a really interesting technique. He's actually going to swing at Jafar once you're land up on top
Stretches.
and then swing again and use magic. That's going to force Jafar to use this magic bubble. Now with proper timing, and he did a nice job there, he can stagger Jafar and keep him on this platform. He's also hoping that Aladdin does as much damage as he possibly can. He has to dodge this shockwave here, and then he's going to keep wailing on him as much as he can. Aladdin's died, so he has the option of reviving him if he wants, but
It's
probably
not
not going to
gonna be
worry about it.
necessary.
Yeah. So he's going to just manipulate Jafar's position to be back on the same platform. Nice timing to stagger him again, and he's going to try to do as much damage as he can with fires here.
This is another thing where damage storage is active right now.
Yeah, he did a finisher before he started using those fires.
Yes.
And there we go, 2-cycle, excellent job.
And then he throws an ether at the very end just because the next fight he's going to be spamming Blizzard right away while waiting for Iago to show up.
Yeah, there's going to be a number of ways for him to actually damage Genie Jafar as a whole in this fight. Iago's kind of the main way that people know about, but you actually, if you spam Blizzard, you'll actually, I'm not sure if you can do it with fire or not. He lives in lava.
I don't think fire
Yeah.
works.
But yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, you use Blizzard, it's a big spread attack, which just upgraded Blazara right there. And that's going to allow us to do damage again. Have kind of alternative ways while Iago's flying around. He's going to be trying to hit a damage value right here in
Oh,
order
he
to
just swiped me,
move
that's weird.
Iago. Yeah, that is a little random when he does that. But Iago likes to come over and chill on this awkward side right here. If he damages him enough, it can push him. It looks like he did get it, and a nice deflection right there.
Unfortunately, Iago decided to get stuck there, but you can work with this just fine. Just potentially could be slower or a little bit riskier.
Yeah, this is really awkward.
Aladdin's also dead right now, so he's not adding on to that extra chip damage, which, right now would be pretty handy.
Goofy, do it. Do it. What are you doing?
Goofy was thinking about it. He's
How's
just dancing,
dude? He's
dude.
just dancing, dude.
Yeah.
He's not a dancer.
One small thing Mist is doing is mashing triangle, which actually calls your party members to action. So he's really trying to get Goofy to just jump and attack Iago, but no luck.
If I can jump a little bit higher, that'd be nice. Okay.
You see how low he's trying to keep all those jumps going into the blizzard. Nice
Good
deflection
deflection.
right there. Yeah, trying to keep those blizzards low to the ground so he can instantly jump into them again. But sometimes they can be a little low. Should be close to dead at this point.
Ground
have to get
combos
some
suck, but-
blizzards
Come on, dude.
on Genie Jafar.
Nice. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, in general, like, especially for a marathon swing, that was actually quite good.
Really
Yeah,
good.
that was a
I'm
very good
very,
add-on.
very happy with
The
that.
fight can take a lot longer. I believe even Genie Jafar can heal Iago or heal the lamp and make it
Right.
take even longer.
Shout out
It's
to
really
Spike.
awful.
Yep, I see you on this one.
Yo, so this is another mini game they throw you into right here, which actually, if you die just by running in the boulders, the game's like, it's good enough, and they'll just let you progress on with the story. Funny enough, I was in a call with Mist, who was like, oh yeah, you can't do this on beginner, but I found a way. I ran into every boulder
It was
possible.
literally right after I said you can't do it. He just does it like, I was like, oh wow, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave the internet for like a day.
Man, probably the single greatest speedrun strat I've ever found. How to die. So, good job. Yeah,
That'll not be the last time that we speak that.
No, the other one was because I suck. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be making our way to our next Disney World. We're going to be going to Monstro. So, yeah, if you want to go ahead and read a bunch of donations, again, we need to move towards. Give us an update on those Sephiroth and Oathkeeper incentives.
Absolutely. We are just over $5,000 off from the Oathkeeper glitch. So we are almost there. As well as level 1 Sephiroth, we're about 15,000 off as well.
We gotta hit this, boys.
We are really close, and you definitely want to be seeing those. And speaking about donations for the incentives, we have an anonymous $1,000 donation.
Thank you so much.
So, Kingdom Hearts games are some of my favorite to see run at GDQs. Great runner, great commentary, and great musical interludes. Thanks for all the work you are doing to raise money for an awesome cause. We also have a $25 donation from Dre. Doing great, guys. Love KH and announcers. Don't let Couch Hulu devour you.
No. Stop.
It's the reason I didn't want to show Coach.
They're a little lighter back there than me. So.
Nintendo is getting like eaten by the
That's fine. You stay there.
More donations.
Perfect. We have a $250 donation from AW Sup. I've missed most of GDQ this year, unfortunately, but I may or may not have rushed through meetings today so I could be here for a Kingdom Hearts run. Thanks for running such an awesome game, full of that good old childhood nostalgia. Also, great job on those harmonies for Love is an Open Door, guys. Keep it up, everyone.
Oh, hey, it's a thing.
Monster.
Hey.
This animation's gonna take so long, you might as well read it.
You can go one way. We're just entering the next world right now.
Perfect. We have a $10 donation from Hey, I'm Alice. Can you feel the love
Hey.
tonight? Made me
Hey.
cry, so I had
Hey.
to donate.
Hey, come on. No.
All right, getting
No.
into Monster here now. This
Not the
is
paper.
one of, if not the quickest
Oh my
worlds.
I
god.
think it's the fastest.
Yeah.
I know.
Even
Okay.
on level 1, it's
I know.
very fast.
Yep. I
And
know.
worth pointing out here, there's
I know.
one interesting thing about this game. There are now
Really
are
terrible
people
idea,
from
honey.
mid-game to beat all
Really
the
terrible
worlds,
idea.
the worlds.
I know, you
To
try.
beat Neverland.
I know,
where we
you
fight
try.
Captain
You
Hook.
try
And
so
to
much.
unlock the ability to go there, we need to beat 2 out of 3 worlds. Those being Monstro, Halloween Town, and Atlantica. We're going to like to beat Monstro
You
because it's
tried so
stupid
hard.
fast. And we're going to beat Halloween Town, which will also give us some really good magic, including stop and gravity.
Yeah, going in and doing Atlantica is not only slow, even though it's very consistent. It's actually a pretty fun world in the speedrun, but it's really slow, and the only magic upgrade you get out of it is Thunder, which we already have Thunder. We don't really care about upgrading it much.
Right.
We really would rather have every single magic available to us.
I know.
Okay, so there is no, there's a trick called Chamber 3 skip in this world, but it isn't done in this category. But there is actually a very specific movement thing that was found fairly recently to get to the Mega Elixir chest that's in it's Chamber 4, I believe. Might maybe something, I don't know. Just, I'll let you know what my name is.
One of the chambers.
It's one of these chambers.
I don't pay attention.
Something like that. Yeah, so.
I'll keep track of the numbers on screen.
Please do.
So that's where he would have done Chamber 3 skip.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Behave.
Air Soldier wanted to say hi. So
Nope,
right here,
nope,
I'm gonna
behave.
drop down, use a blizzard on this guy right here. First
Nope,
person
no,
moves,
no,
try to
no.
line up like
No,
roughly
no,
there.
no.
Physical hit, jump over here, another hit, and we grab ledge like that. And that's just, we avoid an insane amount of mob fight that we would have to, like, if we
No,
did
it's
do that, we have to
gross.
fight out all
Not
these
food.
things right here.
That's
So,
seriously some like Ocarina of Time level
It's
like
funny.
setup.
You said the
you know?
same thing I said last time,
It's
dude.
funny you said that because that was actually found by an Ocarina of Time runner. It's,
Oh, wow.
Ixwazel, who's also known in the OT community, he does a few things with 1FM as well, and that's actually something he found while he was in my stream, and he was like, dude, there has to be a better setup for this, and gave him like 2 days, and he's like, oh, I perfected this.
Mist also runs Majora's Mask. It's just such an N64 Zelda strat. You go into
so
first
good.
person, you line it up
That's
on
why
the
I'm,
scene.
that's why I'm so
what?
good at it, dude.
We should just call it Chamber 2 skip, even though it's done in Chamber 2 and you don't skip Chamber 2 at all.
So this boss might look super trivial, and this might make it look that way. He's going to be able to get a stun here. He's going to try to keep a stun lock the entire time, but he has to be extremely quick with his jumps into his attacks, keep it super low to the ground. Yeah. So unfortunately dropped it right there. Also, Riku is just chilling on the side. I'd like him to come up and help you out.
Still gotta heal after every hit because if you get two-shot by everything.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that.
Pinocchio screaming at this is like, I know. Alright, so he should be pretty close to dead at this point again. Alright,
Nice. Okay, good job.
You could use Genie here, we used to, but
Oh,
it's
boy.
actually technically slower.
Yeah, you can
Thunderstorm.
keep the stun loop going pretty well. Even if you drop it
Thunderstorm.
once
Oh, yeah.
there, so
Also,
it's
no,
still faster.
also, no, we actually got Genie from completing Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
probably should have mentioned that. And we'll actually see the first utilization of that when we get to Halloween Town.
Another reason for not using Genie is that on PS4, these two fights actually got slightly better to keep the stun lock going. Like just a little bit easier. It's still not perfect or anything, but that helps.
So here's high jump, which is a thing in a chest. But yeah, so we get to learn that. We're equipping that, and we're also equipping Cheer for Goofy, which imagine, so Cheer is specifically tied to your summons. It will make the summon gauge last longer, also allowing them to be stronger for things like Simba. And imagine effectively like it's almost adding 1 MP.
It's like Sora has an invisible 5th MP bar, basically. That's how it gets. Ooh, hello.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Dude, they're so
The
aggressive
dot's like,
today.
I got you, man.
For once, yeah, it's good.
Parasite H2. Let's see if he can get the quick stun right here. He has to jump right out of the cutscene.
Very difficult to do.
Yo,
Nice.
Okay. So now he's going to hope that Donald and Goofy don't knock him out. It's almost always they will. There is the potential to keep this stun lock going the entire time. Again, he needs to make these jumps very low to the ground and get in these positions to get the stun.
Still
So
a lot of damage in before they knock
He's
him
gonna
down.
be spamming some fires here because if you attack physically too much right now, especially with finishers, it will come back really fast.
And if he's not using finishers, he's just going to be losing out on a lot of damage. So
nice utilization of dodge roll iframes right there, or invulnerability frames.
Yeah.
Shout out to some people didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
So unfortunately dropped his jump right there, so it caused that auto jump. He's gonna dodge roll through this as well.
All right,
and
that's
get
nice.
the kill.
Okay, good.
Damage this.
Excellent. Had he been hit by that little like poison
Oh, yeah.
breath attack, he would have actually been poisoned, which is like the worst thing that can possibly happen to you at level 1
Right.
because
If you're not at full MP, you're gonna
You'll
die.
never be at full
Exactly.
health. Yeah.
And that's just like a draining of your HP continuously for like 5 seconds. It's awful. You want to try to avoid that.
yeah, it's absolutely awful. There's another place where that can potentially come into play, and hopefully it won't.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that.
I doubt it as well.
We got an interesting little thing here with how you could just now the next world we want to go to is Halloween Town. We want to fly there, but it's actually faster for us to just warp to Monstro and then go from there. There are the odds that Monstro could not show up if you flew there normally, but we actually want to go into Monstro for reasons.
It's also still slower, anyways.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, even if you miss Monstro on this version, it's just actually still slower.
Interesting little fun fact is that until this is the final mix version of the game, which in case people don't know, there's like Vanilla Cage 1 back on the PS2, which is probably what most people played. And that if you actually warp drive to Monstro on the vanilla version, so, like warp drive like this, he sometimes actually doesn't show up even there. But on final mix, he always shows up if you warp drive.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice change, but at the same time, it was faster for the speedrun when he didn't show up.
You do like,
Sure,
you do
but
like,
it's such low odds.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
do like
the-
everything in one of his and then pray you miss it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is going to be getting swallowed one more time because he's going to go grab a chest here that has Water Gleam in it. Water Gleam is another summon gem. It'll be the third summon, I guess. And we're not going to quite get Water Gleam. We're not going to quite get Dumbo from Water Gleam yet, but we will be getting that later.
We'll also be getting this Trinity right here for an extra cottage and a couple potions, which I'm gonna kind of badly need based off how early game went.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's nice that they give it to us.
Yeah, you would think that, okay, once he got Cure, potions are useless, right? No, he actually is going to be using potions still all throughout the place because he's going to want to save that MP a lot of time for that magic usage.
It's actually a very important thing to note right now because of my current setup. If I actually get knocked down to 1 HP, a cure will not fully heal me with my current setup. And if you're not at full HP, you die in 1 hit.
Yeah, that's a problem for Halloween Town.
Yeah,
And-
Halloween Town. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm fine.
It's basically Halloween Town. We start getting hit really hard by a lot of things too. So that's what potions are gonna try to help fix, or he'll have to double cure.
Which we really don't want to do that if we can help it.
Yeah, that gives you 2 chances to be hit, you know, where you're just left open and vulnerable as opposed to throwing 1 potion.
Okay.
All right, and into Halloween Town, another really the mid game is so rough in these higher difficulty categories.
Okay, so first things first, we're just gonna walk forward, and contrary to popular belief, there's actually a little house on the side here that you can interact with, and it's not for like, it's not for memes or anything like that. Although people would just say, oh, I rung the thing twice and nothing happened, but if you actually go up to this door right here and you ring this doorbell 3 times, you actually get an elixir from it.
Rule of 3s, man. This game teaches
This game
you.
loves the number 3.
This game and Square games in general just teach you to not stop examining and talking to people until they give you something.
Until I watched your run of this at Limit Break last year, I had no idea this was a thing.
Oh, really?
Just an elixir chilling over there.
It's pretty slow, but it's still well worth it.
Right.
There's like another one you could get, but it's like complete RNG, and it's like, if it doesn't go well, you lose like way more time than it takes to get that one.
To note, if you've seen other categories of this game, you might be wondering why he skipped a power-up in a chest back there. Well, once again, strength really doesn't matter in this category, so much so that we don't even bother with the power-up.
Thanks to the EXP 0 ability giving us a minimum amount of damage we can deal, which is actually pretty decent for the bosses.
They didn't
It's hard
really...
to tell without scan, but just take our word for it.
They didn't make the original game on PS2 with a level 1 capability in mind, so they had to kind of adjust the mechanics in a way that would allow you to complete the game on level 1 while still, you know, not making it take 19 hours per boss.
And in all fairness, like, considering it was an afterthought, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it could have been.
And at least there's some fun quirks that we'll kind of see later on.
Alright, here for the graveyard, you're going to see him once again utilizing Blizzard. He's going to be lining up these shots. Again, your magic, what determines how strong they are, is also just whatever your max MP is. So that's why he wants even more MP. Allowing him to do more of these and just making them stronger.
He's actually basically as strong in terms of magic as a beginner run would be right now, which is really cool.
I think they might have 5 MP by this point.
I think the route changed, and yeah, they
Could
do.
be,
They do now.
It's like, MP is like universal in terms of the damage it actually gives, so regardless, I'm still doing as much damage with my magic as like other categories would be, like with the same amount of MP.
Right. KH2 actually has a magic stat, so that's it works differently in that game, but in this one, it's all about your MP.
They don't really do a good job at explaining that. But
So some of these items we're going around right now, we're just collecting them just to advance the story of Halloween Town. You know, he's jumping back and forth between the graveyard and the lab. I believe, Mist, you might have come up with this next strat, is that correct?
yes, this next thing, and watch us get white mushrooms.
And we'll never see it.
But there's a thing you can do called ghost skip. It's where you abuse the sort of spawning areas and just not crossing over them. Like, it'll make more sense. I should probably throw this before I do that. It'll make more sense if we actually get there. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this first white knight right here. Get out of here, dude. They're so lethal, dude. Okay, that's good. And we're gonna get rid of these 2 white knights here on these pedestals. Like so, 4 fires each. And if we do proper platforming, God forbid, okay, that's good. And ease a little bit forward. And if we get that, nice.
Nice. Good job.
And we just skip a few waves of Heartless right there, so.
Saves a lot of time because of the Heartless that spawn.
Especially on level 1.
Yeah, the Heartless that spawn, first of all, they take longer to, you know, kill on level 1, but also some of them disappear and teleport away and then, you know, could just waste a bunch of time. And others, all of the White Knights, they're really lanky in the way that they move around, makes them really hard to hit, so, especially with physical attacks, that is. And so you really just want to avoid fighting them whenever possible.
Right here, we're going to get a quick shortcut back to the graveyard from Moonlight Hill. We'll just reignite this platform. There is another spawn of what are called black fungus. We didn't see them in Agrabah, but there's a chance I would have had to leave the room and come back. This is the much worse area to actually have them show up, but hopefully we won't have to deal with them.
Yeah, not only does it waste a bunch of time from having extra screen transitions, it'll also waste MP for him.
It's 2
He's
extra
gonna have
fires.
to, reignite each of them. With that, if you want to go ahead and get in one quick donation,
quick
as we head
donation is
back
good.
over.
Absolutely. We have a $15 donation from Adam the Feverish. Put my donation to the Oathkeeper cutscene glitch. Come on, everyone. Put your hearts into it. These donations are the key. Nobody hates funny glitches. Now, if you'll excuse me, all this wordplay is making me Sora. Sorry.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, so here we're going to find out off an audio cue.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
We avoided them. No
Okay,
black fungus
good.
this run, thank God.
Alright, so now he's going to try to not move all the way around this arena, just clear out this one set of them, get rid of all of them, and now just stay concealed right here.
Right here, I'm going to put on 2 potions for safety, and the main thing I want to put on is an elixir for this next boss fight coming up. We're going to use a cottage for the first time to fully heal our MP and everything.
For the whole party, too.
Yeah, for the whole party as well.
We're coming up on a part where we kind of called it what
Spray
the
and pray.
community
Oh, right. Before that.
jumps
so-
or whatever.
Yeah,
So
whatever.
basically, the game wants you to do a fight to clear enemies so that you can open a door. And then we actually found out we don't have to do that at all, and we can kind of just platform our way.
I will request we don't clap until I beat this next boss fight, just because. So.
And we're coming up on the next boss fight as well, which is very dangerous. You're fighting 3 bosses that all can 2-shot you,
At once.
and they're all fast at attacking.
Dude, I'm so sad nobody does Hobbs Jump 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Sorry, dude.
Nobody
Nothing
likes it.
personal, dude.
He's actually making his way around this direction because Mist, I know you'd like to go ahead and completely refill your MP right here.
Yeah.
Want to build up that orange bar all the way? Okay. Don't hit me, please. Oof. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Dude,
Okay.
go away.
Oh.
Go away. Go away. What are you doing?
They're coming for you, dude.
Okay,
This
someone,
game's terrifying.
someone explain.
He's basically just gonna jump Blizzard a lot and hope for the best.
Yeah, hopefully this is going to catch all 3 of them with all of these.
They start out pretty grouped up, but then based on, you know, how they get hit by the blizzards and just which attacks they decide to use, they can kind of spread out.
Popping that elixir right there and going right back into it. So that killed off one of them. We're looking for those white flashes. There's
2
2
gone.
of them.
Perfect.
Nice.
Excellent.
Wow.
Jeez, that was incredible.
That could be an insane amount worse. Like,
I
I made that look so easy. That is one of my least favorite fights in this entire game.
And if he died to that fight, he would have to do the jumps on platforming all again to get up to the fight.
Very.
I would take that fight on beginner. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was gross. All right. Shouts to Riz. Make sure you always hit that. And now he's going to switch Jack into the party, mainly because he wants Jack's cheer, which, as we explained, we got for Goofy earlier, is going to allow your summons to stick around a little bit longer. And we're going to get Robin Williams involved here with Genie on this fight. So we haven't really gone too much into this, I feel like, but to reiterate it, another interesting quirk about EXP0 is that there's a technique, a glitch, or whatever you want to call it, an oversight, called EXP0 storage. So effectively, whenever you do a physical attack, the multiplier on that attack will then be applied to any magic attacks or any summon attacks you do afterwards. So first of all, you got these 2 gargoyles going to take out right here. Snipe the first one
This
out of
guy's
the air.
being rude.
Second one's being rude to him. He wants to try to finish off. Okay. So now he's going, just let him come on down, get rid of him. And now it's going to be very important here that for Oogie, he tries to trap him without Jack and Goofy following along with you.
He's trolling.
There we go.
again.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Goofy's
Goofy
no,
is here
it's
with
okay.
you, so this could be bad.
Stay away, Goofy.
He's behaving. It's
On
fine.
each phase of this, Oogie will only allow you to hit him 10 times max.
So you notice right there, I actually used a fire for my template,
Oh, boy.
just so I can keep the damage storage active with my
It's
finisher.
damage
And
storage.
damage storage is going to basically deal finisher type damage with all of my magic and summon attacks.
Yeah, so imagine any fire or usage of Genie right here. It's
Like
not
I'm
just
doing a finisher.
Finisher.
Unfortunately, Genie's a bit random, so he can choose to use really bad attacks that won't do much, but usually in this specific fight, he'll have no problem.
That was a pretty decent first phase. We want to see him just throw a lot of orbs at him, basically.
Hail Mary.
He should
Oh
have
no, there's so many enemies, dude. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, that's so bad, dude. That's unfortunate.
I think a couple attacks whiffed, too.
Probably, yeah.
It's really unlucky that he spawned enemies there. What move Oogie uses is dependent on how those dice that he threw out land. So he could have potentially not spawned enemies, which would have made Genie only have 1 target, but he should be able to finish him off with some physical attacks now.
Hopefully.
Unfortunately, Genie can under damage him a lot.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's fine.
He would have gone and healed next, Oogie.
I know, it's like getting a little scary, man, but we're good. You know.
Yeah, he maybe had 1 fire, maybe maybe 2 fires left. Trying to end the kill.
Pretty unlucky there, but we got through it. It's okay.
Yeah, Halloween Town is kind of all about surviving.
And that's
Right.
definitely a problem in the next fight.
Yeah, Biz, I'm gonna let you take
Yeah,
this
I
next
need to
fight.
focus for this entire thing. so
Yeah,
you
he's
guys-
gonna focus.
you
So
guys-
basically, this is a boss fight where we have to destroy a bunch of orbs. But you don't want to just go destroy one at a time, because when you destroy 3 of them, he becomes more aggressive and spawns enemies and has extra attacks that can just destroy you. And also, that almost never happens
Guys, can you
ever.
like heal me? No? Okay. Oh, thanks.
Of course.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I
So he actually has to keep track of the damage he does here because we don't have scan. Level 1, we don't really deal real damage to these things. They're not actually bosses. So he's going to count a specific amount of hits and deal fire damage at the end to kind of get it very close to dying.
He also has to be aware of if any of his hits reflect any fireballs back into the orbs.
As well as party members getting their hits in on the things as well.
Yeah, party members have basically kind of chain attacks on these things. So basically, they can help you destroy it really fast, but that will catch you off guard if you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah, basically imagine physical attacks count as 1 damage.
So unlucky. Nice.
Basically imagine a physical attack is 1, blizzard is 2, and fire is 3, and I forget the exact number he's trying to kind of work towards for each of them. If any party members do deal damage to it, that will also count towards that, so he has to then adjust accordingly. They cannot kill it, though, unless they deflect an attack into the orbs.
And once again, as soon as he breaks 3 of these orbs, then the manner gets way more aggressive. So that's why he's leaving them all with a very little amount of health. And again, he wants to make it so that they're as close to 1 HP as possible, but he can't see their health. Because if he leaves a little too much health on each of them, then when he's traversing back down to finish them all off at the same time, it might take too long, and then Manor's gotten more aggressive, and suddenly he's dead.
He is going to destroy this one and the next one. These are the most dangerous ones to fight.
I beat myself a little there.
And we haven't killed any yet.
You feed
fortunately.
yourself, okay.
Should be very close to death at this point.
Oh
Okay.
god, it was a bad time. Alright.
And now he's going to also destroy this one, but there's so much fire flinging around everywhere. He has to be very careful if he gets hit.
So, and there's a lot of really bad collision detection when you're coming to this floor here, so sometimes when I land, I just get stuck for a bit. It's really annoying.
One of the big reasons for taking out this one is that it spawns poison orbs around it once the Manor's more aggressive,
Shouts
which
to
would be
miss jump.
awful.
Easy.
That's
first
his
try.
jump, so.
Saves like 2 seconds.
Hey, that's
No,
a
it's
lot
2 seconds.
in beginner mode, dude.
That's great.
At this point, he can go crazy now and start killing them. You'll see after he breaks this orb and goes to the next one, you'll see enemies actually start spawning, and that's why we wanted to avoid this until now. So now we're going to kind of chain reaction kill them and where they're hopefully at 1 HP,
Nice.
and it looks like so far they're all at 1 HP.
Right now we're testing Mist's counting skills. Pretty good so far. We
This
got
will take 2
left.
hits. Okay.
Oh my god.
And 1 fire to finish. We should be all set. Fire. There we go. Alright.
Alright, good job. You can tell, like, I mean, hopefully the tension of that fight kind of sells how hard it is, but on top of that, you can see that this strat takes forever. Like,
Oh, this
so
is one of the worst spots to die in
Yes.
in level 1, absolutely.
if you die near the end, which is pretty much that's usually the only time you're going to die unless
It's like
you're
3
really
minutes.
unlucky with fire. Yeah, it costs a lot of time.
I'm surprised I'm still alive with all these close calls.
Yeah.
The game's wanted me dead like 10 times already.
All the way back in Power Wilds, even,
yeah.
man. I thought for sure. Power Wilds
I
are
thought
really
it
easy
was,
first
the
hit.
more I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
one.
So, with that, we have completed our minimum 2 of these 3 kind of middle Disney worlds in the mid game. So now we want to make our way towards Neverland, but before that, we're actually going to double back to Traverse Town. Specifically, this is part of level 1 routing. We're going to go back there to get a number of things. While we're on our way back, if you want to read a couple of donations real quick, we're just going to warp there.
Absolutely. We have an anonymous $500 donation.
Wow, thank you.
Haven't played Kingdom Hearts in years. Time to grab the PS4 versions and play them before KH3 comes out. Thanks for the inspiration. PS, level 1 Sephiroth. We also have a $200 donation from Rash808. Thanks to everyone for putting on an amazing SGDQ, and congrats to Mist for running one of my favorite games. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Are either what's it called?
The
I can't
incentives.
tell. The incentives, that's the word. Level 1 Sephiroth.
Neither of them have been met yet.
Yes.
But we are about close to 12,500 off from level 1 Sephiroth and just over 4,000.
Definitely level 1 Sephiroth.
We're getting there, folks. Let's keep making it happen. We're not,
If
a
everyone
ton of
from
time
chat
left.
donate $5, we will definitely meet these incentives.
I know that estimate says 3 hours and 5 minutes, but Mist is doing pretty well right now. He's pretty fast at this game, so you only have, I would say, a little over an hour for you to be able to get in those dimensions. Also, shouts to our boy Simba. How did you survive?
It's a nice name, dude. Whatever.
So one of the big reasons to use Simba there, other than the fact that it just does AoE damage, all around him, is that those enemies are like they're invulnerable to certain types of magic, and it spawns every type of one of those enemies.
And also, they love to fly off the rooftop, and you don't want to air combo them when they're above that. You'll fall all the way down, spawn even more enemies.
They're
It's a
tiny,
complete disaster.
so trying to group them up to get physical hits is awful. So
And they can
Simba's
kill
really
you.
nice.
Yeah. Let's not forget. We're still level 1 here. We'll die into almost everything.
Also, shouts to the number 3.
Once again.
Yeah.
He is about to fight opposite armor finally. Remember that we didn't do it earlier. Now we have Genie, and we're gonna damage storage our way through the fight again. But first we have to do a quick refight with guard armor, and I say quick because it should be over in like 5 seconds.
You see, he's got these hands and these feet, and he's got to turn them into feet, hands, and hand feet.
We won.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, now the easy phase. All right.
So he doesn't have guard here, so he actually has to get an aerial parry for what he wants to do.
Nice.
And now he's gonna go for a combo stagger. And now he's gonna go for a couple more combos. And now that damage storage is active, he brings out Genie. And we're gonna hope that Genie spreading damage across all the parts will break them all kind of close together, or at least distribute the damage evenly so that they're very close to all dying. But remember how that went on Ogi, so it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, a little disappointed with your first showing, Genie. Let's see what this one looks like.
Because the other thing is that Genie can use different types of magic, and not every magic is like fantastic against every boss. So you really just kind of want to see him use his own custom attacks.
Did he break them all?
Wow,
He
he
broke
did.
all? No. Oh,
no, he had one
Javated.
left.
That was pretty good, though. If he breaks at least 2, that's pretty good. So it should just be a little bit more. Hopefully he doesn't break it. Okay, and this will be done just a couple more combos. It's like 3 or 4 combos. There we go.
Nice.
So pretty good.
And now we do have the arrow spell, but we actually do not need to use it, because now at this point it won't do anything on level 1.
Yeah, arrow is something that you could basically imagine as kind of super armor, allowing you to take half the damage, but it doesn't matter.
You'll notice now we have all 7 types of magic in this game, and there's actually a little reward that the game doesn't really tell you about, that's a nice little secret, is once you have one of every 7 magics in the entire game, if you talk to Merlin again, he actually gives you a specific Keyblade, and that's going to be our end-game Keyblade, pretty much starting with the next world. And also, it's important that since we got the Summon Gem from Monstro, we're actually going to redeem that and get the actual double summon from Fairy Godmother right here.
Yeah, getting this Keyblade is pretty much the only reason we got Thunder. Like, Thunder's nice early on, it definitely makes things safer for level 1, but this Keyblade is the big reason. You kind of have to, in a speedrun, get all the other magic. Like, it just ends up being the fastest that way, and Thunder's the one that you can kind of skip, but this Keyblade is way nicer.
And now we come to the most notorious part of any run of this game.
Ooh, yeah.
I hate this thing, I don't want to talk about it.
So basically, Mist is warping back to Halloween Town here for a moment. He's going to be going back to the world map immediately and starting to fly towards a little empty node out on the world map. The node that he's trying to fly towards is Neverland. We want to see Neverland show up. However, Neverland requires Hook's ship just basically crossing your path. And as we kind of talked about earlier, once the Hook ship doesn't actually show up with 100% guarantee until you have beaten all the other worlds in this little section. And even if you did 2 out of 3, you didn't actually deal with Atlantica at all.
And hopefully we'll never see it.
Yeah, and so there's about a 70%-ish chance that Hook ship will show up. But if it doesn't, it's like a 50-second time loss.
We have a time for a quick donation.
Absolutely. We have a $100 donation from Sean B. Kingdom Hearts is by far my favorite series ever, and the speedruns of the game never fail to blow my mind. Hopefully this time next year, we get to see the newest entry at a GDQ. Can I get a Kingdom Hearts hype?
Alright, so it gets decided right here, and you'll know if we get it if the, we'll see like a couple of rings coming up very soon, and if those fade out, that means we got it, so fingers crossed.
Should be right here in the next 2-3 seconds.
It's a little bit farther.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
There's
you're
the
on the
next
wrong
ring.
rings.
Nice rings, okay. Come on, dude. This has been haunting me all week, dude. Oh my god, dude. I've been so unlucky all week in practice, dude. This is the 4th time I've been doing
Wow.
practice
But
or actual runs, and I still get screwed. It's
You've
crazy.
gotten it second try every time, though, right?
You really shouldn't have said that.
All right, don't enter Atlantica. I just want to throw that out
Yeah.
there.
You have like a 3-minute tutorial. It's bad, man. Don't do that.
I'm ready for 10th try hook ship.
Hey man, you can just go for world record.
Yeah,
We
go
get
for
a
the
world record within this run. That would be so hype.
All right, so again, that's a 50-second time loss. Now he's just going to try to fly up to this point. It'll be pretty early in, about 20 seconds in. It's going to be a 20-second time loss every time he doesn't see it again. World record's like 7 missed attempts of this, and it's about a 70% chance it shows up.
All right,
We're finding out
right
very
about
soon.
Oh my
No
god.
way.
Oh my god.
Hey, third time. This game loves the number 3. It'll show up. It'll show up this time.
Theming everyone.
It's very fortunate that you don't have to start from going all the way through this like you have to in reverse. So he's able to quit out really fast to find out if he missed it.
I was just talking to Hobbs about this beforehand, and Hobbs was like, "Yeah, I don't think we've ever missed hook shit."
This is why I set the estimate so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Alright,
It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. That's why I run it.
Didn't someone say they were going to donate $100
Yeah,
every miss?
yeah.
Oh, hey.
Put that towards Sedrov, my dude.
Put your money where your mouth is, man.
Okay.
Well, hey, Hook Ship showed up. So,
Well, looky there.
so now we can go to Neverland. Neverland is pretty interesting. It only has 2 boss fights in it, but they're pretty difficult sometimes, and especially the second one on level 1 is really rough.
Oh, the first one's pretty
Wow.
rough, too.
Yeah, fair enough.
You are going to see some pretty neat platforming tricks to get to the first fight.
But in the meantime, we're just going to do a series of platforming. We have time for another donation right now.
We have a $25 donation from Matamoto. Another great SGDQ so far. So hyped to see Kingdom Hearts mastery every marathon. Put this towards the 1 MP level 1 Sephiroth clear. I spent so much time in my first playthrough trying to clear that fight and would love nothing more than to watch him get destroyed with such crazy odds.
Nice, ladders are slow.
Avoiding the ladders. That cure animation right there, kind of. You can also do it with a physical attack.
You can also just grab the ledge up there if
Yeah.
you wanted to as well. There's like 5 ways to get up there.
But it kind of like, it gives sort of this extra little lift that'll allow him to hit
Just
the loading
peek into the
zone.
loading zone there.
Alright, jumping up here, and now we're going to be going into the first of the 2 boss fights Hobbs is talking about, and that is going to be Anti-Sora.
I'm going to take Peter's Ethers really quick, and I will replace my items with Ethers, because this is where MP really starts to shine as being like insanely good. And also we're going to put on the Spellbinder Keyblade, and now we have a grand total of 6 MP. So now starting from here, Cures will actually fully heal us for the rest of the game now.
I just love looking at the bottom right UI, and like the MP's like, yeah, and the HP's like, what's up? It was like, look at the difference right there. Hey!
So the idea of this fight he's about to do, it's first of all, it's an obnoxious arena where you can just clank on everything, you don't have much room to move and all that nonsense. He's going to try to go for a combo to get damage storage, and then back off and spam fire for a while. You can't do this forever, he'll eventually break out, and then in the last phase, this won't work at all, because he will break out after like 5 hits or so.
See how awesome 6 MP is? You get so much more usage out of it.
And what's great about Fyra is, and just Fire in general, is that it doesn't actually use up a blue bar on your MP. It just uses
Dude,
up
pick up your mic. What are you doing? Oh, he's behind the table. Okay,
again, this
thank you.
arena sucks.
Don't push him to me, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's actually really nice that Donald and Goofy honestly just die off. Gonna be using Blizzard here as a spread attack just to go ahead and get rid of the clones. The clones are very dangerous. Accidentally, you can lock onto them, but also they hit you just as hard as Anti-Sora does.
He's now into a looping phase, so whenever Anti-Sora kind of pops out of the ground and stuff here, he's gonna try to let him attack.
Do we get stunned?
not do
I
it.
guess not. No,
Yeah.
not today. That's fine. Sure, why not?
So,
What is he doing? He's being super aggro right now. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
okay. Now he's
He
into
can
a
do this
dive
as long as
attack.
he wants. Okay, so I think we only did one of those.
But those clones split apart as far as they possibly could.
Yeah, this is a little hairy right now.
He's being pretty safe because you don't want to chance dying to this if you don't have to.
He's also
There we
out
go.
of MP, which is
Very bad
very
situation.
scary. Alright, so now he's trying to keep this loop going. Every time that Anti-Sora pops out the ground, he wants to do 1 hit, then a second hit, and then a full combo for a total of 5 hits to force him to explode. Now, that first hit is very precise timing. He's also using fire, mixing that in when he can, because it does more damage than doing the physical hits.
Goofy, don't do it.
decent job with this loop so far.
Nice.
Yeah, those are very tight to get all those.
Yeah.
At this point, he's probably hopefully
Okay,
almost
okay.
dead. Okay.
And we got the thing. Nice.
Hey, cool.
Yo, nice.
Little cool trick there that you can get a fast fade out if you're dodge rolling into the door or running or whatever.
Nice little blizzard there to avoid grabbing the ledge as he falls down.
It's a cute little thing about when you run level 1 up, there's always that complaint like, oh man, there's no scans, we don't know how much health they have. Once you've done this a couple, 1,000 times, like Mist and Biz and all of them have done, like, you kind of have an internal clock of how close they are.
I don't, so I'm terrified all the time.
no.
It's definitely intense regardless.
It's like now, is it now? How about now? What about now? So anyways, we're coming into this mob fight right here, pre-Captain Hook, putting Peter Pan into the party. Just more useful to you than Dog. And then you're actually going to summon Simba here. This is where I like to go ahead and point out exactly how Simba works, how you guys can have an indication. Depending on how much your max MP is plus the cheer, that will determine how much you can charge up Simba. Look at the end of Sora's Keyblade right here. Every time it gives you that little spark, that means he's using a different level of roar. So right here, 1, 2, 3. He releases, and that is actually going to stun them, and now he's going to give another full charge of 3 of them, which will kill them off. Spawning in the second wave, 3 more. 3 is enough to basically do half of their health and stun them. As we give ourselves more MP and more cheer later on in the game, Simba can do more. He can tap into kind of further waves and more damaging stuff.
Also, the gimmick of this world, he can fly.
Yeah.
He's using stop here in order to freeze the enemies in place, and then using gravity, which actually does percentage-based damage. The amount of percent it does is dependent on your maximum MP still, so that is still very important. But it's a percentage of their current health, and so you'll see gravity get used a lot.
Goofy with the final kill. And so right now they're throwing into the Captain Hook fight, but we actually don't want to do it.
Let's go fight Hook. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's just
Like how you just walk in and just, I'm not feeling it, dude.
Looks like, what's the deal, man?
For some reason, you can. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put on an elixir right here, and I'm actually gonna do the similar thing like I did with what's it called, Oogie 2, where I'm just gonna stack my party members full of healing items because I really want them alive, so I can use Dumbo later in this fight. And I'll also put a stop on my customize right quick, just to make out the loop a little bit easier.
So he mentioned needing them alive to use Dumbo. You actually do need both party members alive to use any summon. That's very crucial in a lot of the fights.
So I was going to try to get in a full 2 combos in between each of his stops. Now, stop, while it's very good, it does cost 2 MP, so he needs to get in all these hits so he can have enough. You can see he's barely getting to that 2 MP threshold.
The big danger in this fight is the battleship, so it's actually really nice that it came over here and got stopped, because if it's just kind of floating off on its own, it can just fire missiles at you and be incredibly scary.
That was pretty good damage. Now he's going to try to close out the win with Dumbo, hopefully.
Hook's in a really weird spot right now, so I want him to just kind of come towards me, but he might not do that.
This is the only category, I think, in which we actually use Dumbo for damage, too, which is kind of neat.
Come this way.
Mainly because of that EXP storage glitch, or EXP 0 glitch, amplifying the damage.
This is a little scary that he's in. Okay, never mind. This is a little scary.
So yeah, you can stop some bosses, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, gravity doesn't work on like almost any bosses. There's a couple that we'll get into that later, but stop actually does work on a lot of bosses. Status magic is really good in this game.
And the more MP you have, the longer the stop lasts. It's not based on the upgrade of stop, which is another misconception.
Right
Really
here.
quick,
No, yeah. Picking up a flare G. Actually, right there. Another gummy piece. Again, we've had the fire engine. Oh, by the way, this is hard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
3s! Alright, nice. That's a clap right there. We can let it on. Okay, but yeah, once again, we had the fire engine, now we're upgrading to the flare G to make our ship go even faster.
That's going to be our final engine for the game there.